control. He's fun to watch. Wow. He can beat you in a lot of ways.
Protected by Haliburton. The other end. Look at this right here. Watch Tyrese Haliburton from behind the play.
Mike Schmitz of ESPN. We're here with our first virtual film session with Tyrese Haliburton of Iowa State. Tyrese, you just declared for the draft today, according to Woj and Jonathan Gavoni of ESPN. What went into that whole process, your decision, and what has the reaction been like?
Yeah, I just felt like this put me and my family in the best situation. I felt like this has been my dream my whole life, so I have a good possibility to be able to play at this level. So I'm really looking forward to it.
So why before we get into the film, why weren't you more highly rated coming up? Like, you had some opportunities to play for a shoe brand company and you stayed loyal? That was always the story I heard.
Yeah, so Coach Brian Jonikin he started coaching me in freshman year. He started coaching me, and he had always told me that I could play college basketball. This was back when other dudes were getting offers and I really wasn't. And he just said to stay the course and trust him, and he'll put me in the right spot. So, he really helped me grow. I'm working out with him all the time. Like in the summer, this past summer before USA, I would lift here in Oshkosh in the morning, drive to Milwaukee to work out with him, come back to Oshkosh and work out, rest for the day, and then work out again at night. So that was like 5 days a week. So really getting 3-4 workouts a day. So, he's really, helped me grow as a player. And, as my junior year went on, I basically could have played in any circuit. I got asked by a Nike team, an Under Armour team, and an Adidas team. So I could have played in any circuit, but it just didn't feel right leaving him when he helped me get, to where I was. And I wasn't raised that way, so I couldn't do something like that. And, it's worked out for the best for sure.
So to me, where you really come alive is in the open court. I saw that in Crete this summer. Like, you're a little bit mild-mannered in the half court at times, but then in transition, like no-look passes, you're doing the goggles, you're showing a little bit more of your personality. Is that where you feel most comfortable?
Yeah, I would say that. Just, growing up, obviously, like when you're better than the kids you're around, it's just a lot of transition stuff, right? Like fourth grade, and you understand how to intercept passes and things like that. So you're having so many steals, and now you're on so many fast breaks. That's when you can really have fun with your teammates, right? So I think it just stems from how I grew up, and it's always just been the most fun in my game.
Yeah, and the first part I really like about your transition attack is your hit heads. You're very unselfish in the open court, as you can see here. Eyes up, see your teammates streaking down the court on the money feed, and you don't always do it just for an assist either. Like I like that you'll hit ahead, even if it's just to move the ball ahead in advance. But then here's where some of the sauce, some of the sizzle comes out. Okay, some of the no look feeds we're talking about. Take me through what you're thinking at this point of the play here.
I cross over here, and obviously Russell Bolton's cutting right there. So now it's just kind of reading John Petty, and he kind of plants his feet. So I know he's not, moving as best he can. And I know he's thinking about Trey because he sees I'm looking at him. So now I know, Russ here is, pretty easy, layup down there. So that's where the ball goes.
And there's the goggles. There's the flair, the excitement. I like it. And I like that you can push, you can grab a rebound and push on your own in transition. What's your read here? You're going to hit George Condit here. Do you remember this play?
George is open, down there. So when I jump, I'm looking at my shooter to just throw John Petty off. But some guys, know that through film and see that. So some dudes will stay with the big. So it's just a ball fake and I hit the corner. I think it's just a read. So whatever they take away is I'm going to hit the opposite. So here John takes away the shooter, so I hit George down low.
Yeah, hey, over 6.5 assists a game, and you can fill the lane as well as a wing, and here you draw the defense, drop it off, and I love how you relocate to the corner here. And so we're going to kind of get into that transitions into the next section, the fact that you can play off the ball as well. We touched on it earlier. You shot 43% from three over your career. You're one of the best catch and shoot players in the country, and I think that's going to really raise your floor as a prospect because you're not ball dominant. You can fit with other guys. You can fit into different scenarios. So let's just look at kind of your impact here off the ball. Deep range on your 3-ball. Like, look at where you fire that from. Has that always been a part of your game? And I also want to ask about your mechanics because it's not the most traditional shot.
Right, yeah. So like I mentioned, Brian Jonathan, my AU coach, has been a big part in, my development. And so I had to be able to shoot that deep because, like, obviously my form is not traditional right now, but it was even worse, like, as a freshman because I wasn't strong enough to really get it there. So yeah. I always had to bring the ball down to my hip and then bring it to set it and get it there. And so I've always just shot the ball deep because I had to. That's the only way I could really play. But the way, Coach Jonathan kind of fixed it was his grandson at the time was probably, I would say, 3 years old. That's what and he brought him into the gym, and we were shooting jumpers, and he had him stand in front of me. He was blocking my shot, right? And blocking my shot because I'm shooting from my hip. So he would just tell his grandson to put his hand up and block him. And, it was just, we got in a big argument about it. But, like, he was right? Like, I wasn't going to be able to shoot like that to play at the next level. So, I just had to get more used to getting it off in different ways.
Right.
Even this year I played with it a little bit because I knew I'd need more of an emphasis defensively. So you might see, like, sometimes my pull-up doesn't look the same as, my catch-and-shoot shot. But it's just dependent on how I can get it there. And I feel like I put a lot of time in, and no matter how I release it, that I feel like every shot's going in. So it's changed, but I definitely still think that there's time that I can change it a little bit more. But that just comes with the whole strength aspect, and just reps and things like that. But right now this seems to be working, so I'm using this until it doesn't work, and then I'm gonna figure out a way to make it work.
Yeah, and it was a big, I know you, like you said, you played point guard your whole life, but it was a big jump from going from last year. I think you used like 12 pick and roll possessions all year and maybe like 2 isolation possessions. And then this year it's like, all right, here's the ball, rock out. Like, you're our guy. And, I think there are probably some growing pains that come with that. So eventually we're going to touch on your playmaking out of ball screens and all that. I think that's a major strength of yours. But right now we're going to dive into kind of scoring in the half court and scoring, against different coverages, creating against switches. And the first thing I noticed watching you just over the years and then just diving into your film a little bit more is one area I think you can improve a little bit is just using ball screens. Have you noticed that?
It's definitely something that's been an emphasis for me. Just playing lower to the ground will help me come up ball screens better. I think that helps for sure. And especially this year, a lot of smaller guys guarding me, right? Because they're going to try to get under me and guard me, full court and things like that. So I think that's definitely important. Just playing lower to the ground, that's going to be an emphasis. Going to the next level, and I think it'll allow me to have my defender run into screens. So let me play with the big more and get to scoring opportunities. So it's definitely an emphasis of mine, training wise this summer.
Yeah, and here are just a couple clips where you can see that they're really getting into you here, and just like he shouldn't be able to fight over that easily. Some of that's on the big, some of it's on you, but that kind of puts you in scramble mode, desperation mode, and then that's just a tough shot at a crucial point in the game. And then this clip I think really shows it. So like that's Matt Coleman. He's like $170 maybe. Like if I'm you, I maybe go into a half post up here, or I find a way to like engage his body, you know what I mean? So that you come off tight, and you can see here, like just too much space, you should be able to come off a lot tighter and more aggressively. And then because of that, can't quite turn the corner and get downhill. So, I think you're at your best when you're able to, like you said, have the guard fighting over the bigs in the drop, and then you can use your IQ and all that. To me, the key to being able to score in pick and roll in the half court is your pull-up and being able to force defenses to keep you honest. So do you remember this play?
Yeah, I lose the ball right here. I just catch it and shoot the three. But I think it's Anthony Nelson from Seton Hall. He goes under, and Solomon just rolls him down. And I'm open, so it's going up. And
that's the key. That's, being able to make sure that teams can't just go under on you, and then you're stuck, So, you proved that this year. If they go under, you're going to make them pay. The question, I think, for scouts and for me it has been more so like when you're not able to set like that, when you're not able to tee it up and get a clean look, like you can see here. This is why I want to pick your brain on the difference in your shot that you mentioned earlier. So their set shot, time and space, perfect. Here they're going under, then they're going to fight over, and you got to kind of rise and fire, maybe shoot on the way down a little bit. And here it's a perfect example of that. You rise up, great elevation, splash. So like two totally different style of shots. Where do you feel more comfortable? Do you think you'll ever shoot it the same way from different levels? Like, what's that evolution like?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this is just reps, right? So, having to spend a lot of time on this. So, like, obviously, Battle for Atlantis was really early in the year.
Yep.
And this is when I was, obviously seeing how different teams would guard me. And for like a short stint, probably like 1 or 2 games, everybody was going under, and I couldn't hit a shot early in the year. And it was really hurting me to where like I had to put a lot of reps in it, like, after games, early mornings, before practice, after practice, on that specific shot, right? So I think it just had to come down to reading how defenses were going to guard me. And we played these guys. We played Tino the first time. We played them the second time. Beat them the second time, right? So they tried to guard me that way, and it didn't necessarily work for them the second time. And I mean, if you go back to the first highlight, like Beetle being a smaller guy, I think that's why my form, turned that way, is just because I tried to, get as high up as I could to so he couldn't get to it, but I probably rushed this, right? So I probably could have took another dribble, got into the mid-range area and had probably a better look. So for me, it was just trying to, figure out how to read defenses early in the year, like how everybody's going to try to guard me. And I think I benefited from having to play these really good teams early in the year that helped me, later in the year.
And now I think maybe the next step is finding a way to kind of dominate those mid-range areas also. And you'll hear different takes from different people, oh, mid-range is dead, don't shoot them. And I think last year you shot no jumpers inside the arc last year. And this year, it was a higher number. It reminds me a little bit of Lonzo. So when Lonzo was at UCLA, I think he took 8 jump shots inside the arc, and he had these crazy efficiency numbers, and everyone was like, man, this is, he's going to be super efficient in the NBA. And then he got to the league, and his 3-ball kind of abandoned him, and then he's not super wiggly with the ball anyway, so then if they're just dropping, he's stuck, and because he didn't have any way to score in those spots. And now he's started to kind of add more of that, and you've seen him kind of round out his game. And I think there's still maybe some room to improve there. So you can see here, as you're coming off the ball screen, I think you've continued to show that you can put guys in jail, keep them on your back, but you still kill your dribble a little bit. And so I think finding more ways to when he's on your back like that, maybe it's a bounce out step back to the left, playing off your live dribble and finding more ways to get to your jumper in those spots. You knock down this shot here, that's a tough shot. But again, just I think finding more ways to get to those pull-ups. But what's really going to help you is your float game as you evolve in those areas, because you have it 2 foot, 1 foot. I think one of the best floaters in the draft. Has that always been a part of your game? Anyone you look at in the NBA is I'm going to take this guy's floater game, this guy's floater game?
Yeah, I would just say, growing up, it's always been a part of my game. I've always had a floater. And then when I got there my freshman year, I think it could have just been, my confidence wasn't always the highest, in practice stuff because, obviously being a freshman, you go through those struggles in practice and things like that. So it felt like my floater was leaving me, I didn't have it anymore. And you probably there was articles written in Iowa State where it was Coach Prohm wants Tyrese to shoot the ball more, right?
Yeah.
That's what everybody was saying, that they want me to shoot the ball more. And I'd be in a lot of those opportunities to shoot my floater where it would just be kickouts, right? Because I just probably didn't have that confidence in me. But I think again, playing with USA really built that for me and allowed me to get back to it. And if there's anybody that I watch when it comes to NBA stuff, I think Chris Paul's probably the main guy, right? Because I think he's done this at a high level, and he's still doing it at a high level. And I don't think he's respected the way he should be as a point guard, because he's probably one of the best point guards ever to play the game. And what I always like about him is he's got it off his left foot and his right foot and off 2 feet. right? So that's the thing for me is like getting it off ball, different types of movements, Euro step, coming off the right foot, using the glass, a lot of different things. I think for the next level, like I don't know if a lot of dudes really have this at the next level. Like Mike Conley might be one of the only dudes. He's got it with both hands, right? Yeah. So I think that's something that I want to work on eventually, to where I have it with both hands. Right now, like at the Division I level, like you don't really need truly a left-hand floater, right? So I've been able to just use my right hand all the time. But it just comes in different situations. Maybe I'll have to be in different situations where I need a left-hand floater, or it might benefit me better. So it's just all watching film and seeing what works best. So we'll see. As I am able to play there, like you said, basketball's a game of trial and error, and seeing what works. So I'm looking forward to having that opportunity and experimenting with it for sure.
Yeah, so you mentioned it a little bit earlier about kind of your confidence growing and maybe being a little bit tentative at times last year, and you took a big step this year, just being kind of the man. And I think there's still room for growth in terms of like getting downhill and really attacking when you have those gaps. You can kind of see it in your free throw attempts, like I think 2 free throws per game in like 37 minutes. So I want to show you, some instances where like I thought you had a lane and could have gone, and then what it looks like when you do go, because I think you have a little bit more pop and bounce than maybe people think. So here's the first possession here. I don't know if you remember this. It ends up in an assist, but I just want you to look at their big, okay? I think that's Obiagu. Like, look at him here. Like, I know you're unselfish. I know you're trying to get your big going a little bit, but like I would just go high to low and rip down the lane. You know what I mean? Because you have that ability. So just finding more ways to find that inner aggression and just get downhill and attack. What do you see here?
Yeah, I think like this game was big for me, because if you watch the second Seton game, I'm getting a lot more downhill at him and going at him, right? So, I definitely see a lane right here. It's exactly what you're saying. What is the rest let me see the rest of the clip and see what I do here.
So you kind of kill it, then you hit your man, and he attacks and scores. So like, it's not a bad play.
I just think McKnight was chasing heavy, and I just stopped there and stepped back to just see what was going to go on. But I thought Solomon was probably going to roll, but I think he made the right read, because he could play downhill with the Seton big fella. So popping out, I can hit him on the hook. But I definitely see where it is right there.
Yeah, and kind of a similar situation here. So like if I'm you, I like that you're playing at different speeds, you're getting the guy on your back, all that, beautiful. But if I'm you and I see John Teschke like stepping up, trying to guard me above the free throw line, like I'm getting downhill, I'm playing with it, changing footwork, and because there's no way he should be able to keep you in front. Instead, you feel the guy on your back and kind of hop into a mid-range jumper. But then here, you can see very similar situation. Okay, you see him, eyes are big, and now you get downhill. Like, look at that. Long strides, extension finish. Like, I think you can have a lot more plays like that when there's space in the NBA and just getting more downhill. And then doing the same in the sideline also. So here against Baylor, maybe kind of a quick trigger or early in the shot clock, and just finding more ways to manipulate ball screens, whether it's, you call for a step up and snake it back to the middle, just finding more ways to kind of play with the defense. I mean, you almost flashed that here, but this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is what you remember this play. What do you remember about this?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I had to get more, like, that was big with the film study before this game, because I watched, the first game a bunch before this game. And, like you see here, Solomon flipped the screen, right? So he thought he was going to have to show on that side and flip. So now he has to hurry up and get to this side. So he's late. So as soon as I come off this, he jumps out. I split the screen. My eyes got big. I just saw the rim. He fouled me. I should have made it, but I'm just
should have been a poster. That's okay though. I mean, you can see like you have the size and the length to get to the front of the rim with ease, and then that'll spill over into your finishing also. Floaters, you got them. You shot, I think, over 60% at the rim in the half court, and I think the next step is probably just embracing contact and seeking that out a little more. I don't know if you remember this play.
Yeah, I go across the lane. Yeah.
And just not fading away. Like, you're long. I mean, use your length, unravel at the rim. And then here's another one where I like the read, but but like challenge Jericho Sims, you know what I mean? Like go at him. I like the drop off idea because this is what you can do. Like you have this, bang, you know, like you got a little more pop than people think. And you have the ability to get to the free throw line here, like changing pace, getting into the body. Like as you get stronger, I think it's going to become more a part of your game. What's your take on all that?
Yeah, for sure. I think that is a big part of it. Is there was one thing I could do about this year. I wish I would have got to the free throw line more, just because, like you see, there is a lot of opportunities where that I could get downhill and get to the free throw line or make bigs. Have to foul or make great plays at the rim. So I think, like you said, it's just going to come with my confidence growing, as well as the strength aspect. But I think it is, like you said, definitely something that people don't necessarily think I can do. But I show glimpses for sure.
Yeah.
Right?
And then the last step to scoring the half court pick and roll is just switches. And like I said, you didn't have a lot of isolation possessions as a freshman. Last year, that kind of skyrocketed. So to me, the first step in that is just, okay, if you're going to dare me to shoot, like being able to make shots. I think that's number one out of beating switches, okay? Because then if you have the pull-up, they got to guard you. As you can see here, I think this is Franz Wagner. Got to guard you, play off the hezzy, get to the front of the rim, okay? So that's a very simple, I would say isolation package. I think for you, it's about adding more, different ways to get to your shot, different ways to play off of different combo moves. You remember this play? This is the end of that one we were talking about before. Yeah.
Step back, probably. I think I airballed, to be honest.
Yeah, hard glass. Hard glass. Boom.
Man.
But just like, and you probably remember this play too. This one is representative, I think, of like the room for growth here. And I know you're kind of trying to, wait until the last possession here and run down the clock. But, Jericho Sims shouldn't be able to eat you alive like this with as quick as you are. So finding more ways to feel comfortable just creating your own late clock. Because I think that's going to be one of the questions for teams is, okay, is this a guy who, like, do we need other shot creators next to him? Or is it his show and we put shooters around him? How do we fit you in? And the great thing about you is what we said, like, you can fit in any, just because you can play off of it, you have size. What are you studying? What are you looking at to try to like become a little bit more versatile of a shot creator?
Yeah, I just think the best way for me to grow in that area is just a lot more, like a lot of one-on-one, right? So like ways to get, like I have to get creative,
right?
Like just playing with my imagination more, watching a lot more stuff that people do. But I think that's big for me. Is just like the more repetition I get at it, is the better it'll help me. So just playing through this summer, once I finally am able to get healthy, like I just want to be involved in as much one-on-one, 2-on-2, whatever it is, just actually playing, right? Because I feel like that's always helped me grow the best. So I think it's just going to come with more repetition and things like that, and just being as creative as I possibly can.
For sure, and some of that spills over into the playmaking side as well. Just being comfortable, like keeping a live dribble and being comfortable doing all those things and not trying to get off it so quick. And so that's one thing I noticed here is just, do you remember this?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the ball up at half court and Evan Williams gonna steal it, but we're gonna get it right back on this side. But
we cut it before that, unfortunately. But yeah, I know what you did in transition.
Yeah, I get it back. But yeah, I think here what I should have did right here. Toshiba shows out heavy.
Yeah.
So when I shouldn't even. I think I might spin back, turn my back to the play. But if I just bounce this out, Solomon's wide open right there.
Yeah.
Because Toshiba has to show out so hard. But I turn my back, pick my dribble up. In West Virginia, obviously, they're very good defensively, so they deny everything and turn this over.
Yeah, and you haven't been a turnover-prone guy at all throughout your career. I mean, positive, I think 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, and so you absolutely take care of the ball. There's no doubt about that. I do think there's just more room to like probe in the paint and kind of keep defenders on their heels with your ability to play make, because you can really pass off a live dribble. I've seen you do it, right hand, left hand, and so it's just some of these like killing the ball in these spots that makes it tough. Here's another thing I'd say is just shoring up your left hand. Here I know you kind of try to draw the foul, but maybe like you could even probe along the baseline potentially and look for that corner hit, or just kind of jumping in the air without a plan makes it tough at times.
Right, for sure.
Especially on your left hand. But then here you can see it, like probing in the lane, great live dribble pocket pass. That's big time. And then here again, little change of speed, hesitation, keeps the defense guessing, wide open 3-ball. So just continuing to find ways to kind of manipulate the defense. And then here's that game that you mentioned earlier. They're going over, they're trying to corral. What do you see here?
Yeah, I mean, Farabello's not shifted all the way over.
Right.
And obviously George is an athletic being who can go get that. So it goes up to him, on this lob right in front of the rim.
And right on the money, and then eventually they're going to be tagging a little earlier, and you're going to be able to hit the corner. But again, there's George, perfect live dribble pocket pass. And I think the next step in hitting the roller is going to be some of these like advanced reads from above the arc going to your left. I think going to your left, you're not as effective playmaking as you are going to your right. I don't know. What do you see here?
Yeah, so I think I shoot a stupid float. It
tough
felt
float.
like it was going. Yeah, it felt like it was going to go in, and it just was not even close. But obviously, I missed Solomon. I knew I did as soon as this happened because Jordan McCabe over there is not shifted at all.
Yeah.
He's hugging, and Culver's having to guard Mike in the post on this block. So, I mean, the lob is right there. But I think my emphasis coming in the second half, because we were down, and I was like, man, I need to be more aggressive. And then this felt good, and it was like a tough shot. I don't think it was anywhere close. Yeah, no.
Yes.
And probably could have hit Solomon right there rolling.
Yeah, but again, I mean, you've shown the ability to hit the roller or the pop man in a variety of ways there with the hook pass, and I think now just adding that with your left hand as well. But this is when you've been really good. What do you see here? Like, what are you looking at when you come off?
Yeah, so I think my first read, I'm reading, however you say his name, Jugavelli or whatever.
Yeah, Mamadou.
Yeah, so he's with me, so I know I got 2-on-1 right here. So Solomon or the corner has to be open, right? And McKnight's obviously a really good defender for Seton Hall. So you see he shifts, and I think this is the one where I hit Prentice.
Yeah.
Prentice in the corner, and he hit 3. But yeah, McKnight was all the way shifted in the restricted arc, so Prentice is wide open.
And it's honestly like it's not even that bad of defense. It's a decent closeout, but just like you put it right on the money, he hops into it beautifully. That's a big time pass. And then here again, Auburn, kind of similar situation. Boom, like right on the rope, on the money. Did you play baseball growing up? Football?
No, I played baseball all the way up until I probably quit in like 4th grade because I just wanted to play AU, and you having to play both was a waste of time to me. So I told my parents I didn't want to play.
Yeah. That's kind of your offensive attack, and then we'll go not super in depth, but a little bit into your defense here and show where you've been good, maybe some areas you're still improving. How would you rate yourself defensively?
Yeah, I think I'm a really good off-ball defender.
Yep.
Right. I think just natural instincts, and like I said, growing up where I grew up, like being one of the best players, like I understood reading passes at a young age, so we would just beat everybody down, right? Because we could just it was all of us. We just learned how to intercept passes. But on ball is where I definitely want to take a step. I think that's going to be important, especially at the next level, because having a smaller frame, dudes are going to want to attack me.
Right.
So and there's a lot of switching that goes on in the NBA. So I think I have the capability to do it for sure. But just being able to do that consistently is something that I want to shore up as I get to the next level.
Yeah, and I think you do a really good job against smaller guards. Like there are sometimes you get caught upright, but you do a nice job of containing and contesting. You have really good timing, contesting on the perimeter. Here, I love this. Like, look how quickly you're up. Like, you're up almost before he is. And just that's where the instincts come into play. And using that 6'8", 6'7", 6'8" wingspan to bother guys on the perimeter. So in those situations, I think you've actually done a really good job. It's more the guys who are physical. So like here, Herb Jones, like not a great angle to start with. And I know it's late in the game. I don't know if you're in foul trouble or not, but like, just goes through you. And then against Texas, also, I think that's Jace in the corner there. Okay, maybe not the best angle again, but like just goes right through you. So like I said earlier, I think a lot of your intrigue is the fact that you can play in multiple lineups, you can play with smaller guards, but a big part of that is then being able to guard a wing or guard a two. So it's probably going to come with time and strength and all that. But yeah, I mean, you've proven you have the instincts, the quickness. I don't think that's an issue. It's just becoming a little bit more physical is probably the next step. And then guarding ball screens. Do you remember this play?
He gets a dunk.
Yes.
Is it Edric Dennis dunk right here?
He gets a dunk. So how would you? I don't know how you guys, what coverages you were in or what you're trying to do here. It seems like George thinks you're trying to weak it, and keep him on his left hand. If that's the case, you got to get over the top of that. You don't get any help there, but what do you remember what you guys were? How you were guarding these?
Yeah, I think at this time it is supposed to be a week right here, but I think in the scout, I could be wrong, right? So let me not throw my guy Trey under the bus, but I thought he was going to switch, right? So you see Edric Dennis turns the court. So I should have been up on him, forcing him that way, but he beats. I'm not, so I'm under the screen already, so he's got a good angle. Right here, I thought Trey was staying. Right. But RJ Nembhard had the best game of his probably the season this year. So Trey is getting back to RJ, and Edric Dennis gets a dunk. But I thought he was staying, so I slowed down to get back to RJ. And just bad communication right here.
And then off the ball, like you're really good. I mean, you're a playmaker. I think over 2.5 steals per game. You're blocking shots. Sometimes you'll chase down rebounds outside of your area. We got to show you one asleep clip just to kind of keep you humble.
Was this a backdoor dunk?
Yeah, you remember this?
Yeah, I do remember this. This is all me.
Yep.
My bad, Solomon. That's on me.
I mean, sometimes you're so focused on making a play that you can lose your man. But you always cover those mistakes up with effort. So here you do a great job of digging off the ball when you're one pass away, and then the stunt. Like I love that. Great timing. You're in the passing lane, and you're going to see that a lot in the NBA where you got to make those bigs think. And then here again, you see Mamakushvili has a mismatch. So you help down. You're able to run him off the line and get a contest. Like that's just effort. That's just energy, and that's what I think teams really like about you is that you play hard, then you get the defensive rebound also, and then you have great timing rotating. Talk me through this. What are you looking at?
Okay, well, I'm not in the right position, right? So this is just a play. This is just me making a play here, but I mean, I'm supposed to be shifted, but who am I guarding in the corner? Probably Jared Butler?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I think that's why I'm hugging for sure, because he had a really good game. So, I mean, now it's just me and Tristan Clark and just, being an athlete trying to make a play. And I don't think he thought I was anywhere near, so he goes up with just a layup, and I'm able to make a play on the ball.
And that's what I'm talking about, the underrated bounce, Gotta show people. You have a little, you got some juice. And then here's you kind of playing in the passing lanes. So you guys are up aggressively guarding this ball screen. So what is your role here in this particular play?
I have Nunez in this game, and I think at this point, like 80% of his shots are threes. So, I mean, I know that I'm just an opportunist when it comes defensively. So I know with my length and quickness, I could get there if Julius decides to throw this skip.
So you're in good position to help above the free throw line on the roller, right? You got to at least be in position to kind of bump him. But then as he beats Solomon, you do a great job of just reading his eyes and then stealing the pass.
Trey was the shift guy, so he left me to guard too. So if he throws it to Nunez, I can get there. But I mean, he jumped, so it's tougher for them to make that pass. And I mean, obviously it's going to Brooks, so I can get that.
Straight instincts. Timing, instincts. There's a lot to like about that part of your game. And then one area I would say is just harping on the physicality piece. Finding a way to you do a good job chasing rebounds down, but using your body to, like Herb Jones just strolls down the lane, gives you a little nudge, offensive rebound. Found a few of those clips this season, but here's you when you're locked in and you are being physical. You're getting pushed around a little bit, but look at that. Being aggressive, being physical, then you use your timing, use your length. There's no reason you can't be a triple-double guy, like Alonzo Ball that we mentioned. And then we'll end it on this just to get you feeling good about yourself. The chase down block. What do you remember here? Take me through this from the beginning. Let's see.
I mean, I took a bad shot. I think that was
Yeah, we'll go to the shot. Yeah, we showed that earlier.
Yeah, so I think I had started the half with that, so it's not a good look. So I have to make a defensive play, and Isaiah Livers played really well this game. So I mean, I think he had overlaid. I just had to make an effort play for sure.
Yeah, no question. And it's those type of plays that I think teams really, like I said, like about you, just because you impact the game all over the floor. And before we get out of here, I want to ask you, like, I think you've said before that you see a little bit of Lonzo Ball in your game. What do you make of that comparison? Like, because it's interesting to me, two kind of unorthodox guys who, have similar strengths, similar areas they can improve. And now he's blossoming into, one of the better young point guards in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a comparison I get all the time. Maybe it's just because we're both 6'5" and light-skinned.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what. I just feel like that's where it comes from. But no, like you said, I think we both are really good passers. Are versatile, can do a lot of different things. So I can definitely see the comparison and where it comes from. I think if you're a point guard that is tall and can shoot the three well, I think that's where a lot of comparisons will get you. So yeah, I mean, it's not a bad comparison. I'll definitely take it, right? He's a number 2 pick, and obviously, like you said, is turned into one of the better, point guards in the league. So, it's definitely, honoring for sure.
Great. Well, Tyrese, I know this ran a little longer than we expected, but I appreciate your IQ for the game and how meticulous you are with your study and how much you've improved. And it's been cool to watch from afar. So, stay safe and, don't try to stay out of the coronavirus zones if you can, and don't get too bored. So I appreciate the time, man.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it.